Hi, chipmunks. It's me, Dina. Today we are going to read The Hat by Jan Brett. She is the author. Oh, it's the Mitten. I'm sorry. Tomorrow is the hat. Today is the Mitten. Oops, the Mitten. We're doing the Mitten. Don't get confused. It's the Mitten, not the hat. Okay, Miss Anna is thinking this is very funny right now. So, yeah, Jan Brett, she's written a lot of books about clothing, and they all have animals in them. So animals are lots of animal characters and what have you. We're also going to read The Snowy Nap this week, and then the culminating event will be Annie and the Wild Animals. So those are the Jan Brett books that we have for you. Okay. Ready? Here we go. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. And you can always see in the side there's a little vignette of maybe of what's to come, and then also what has been. It's the now, what happened in the past, and what's about to happen. At first, his grandma, Baba, did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally Baba made them. After she finished, she said, when you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound, but then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens. So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. Look, what's that? It's a little mole. Let's see if he's on the next page. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mittens and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. Look who's going to be next. It's called foreshadowing. A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then he saw the mitten, and he wiggled in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for the both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. What do you think a rabbit's big kickers are? Do you think it's his ears? No, you're right. It's his legs, his feet. That's who's coming next. Next, a hedgehog came shuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered in prickles, they made room. It looks like the mitten is getting bigger or expanding. Can you say expanding? Great job. Who's next? As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. Can you see the owl's talons? There they are, right there. Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left, but when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb. Go ahead, come on in. Don't want you to hurt us. It started to snow, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. What does drowsy mean? Does it mean that you really have a lot of energy, or that you're kind of tired and you're ready to go to sleep? That's what I thought. Making you tired to have to go to sleep. The fox poked his muzzle in. What's a muzzle? Is it... Looks... We see his tail and his legs, but we don't see his face, so that must mean that his nose is his muzzle. And when the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. A giant bear lumbered by. He spied the Mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be. But what animal would argue with a bear? The Mitten swelled and stretched and expanded. It was pulled and bulged too many times its size, but Baba's good knitting held fast. Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wiggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable on the top of the great bear's nose. Look, we see who's coming next. Getting to the end. The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Achoo! The force of the sneeze shot the Mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was a lost Mitten silhouetted against the blue sky. There it is. As he ran to catch his snow-white Mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. Now, let's look at this picture. We see, one normal size mitten and one huge mitten that got stretched out. I wonder what Baba's thinking. I wonder what she thinks happened to the Mitten. She must be very confused, and she might question or inquisition. What was his name? Nicky. It's like, Nicky, what have you been up to? Why are these mittens so huge? Well, that's the end of that story. Tomorrow, we will read The Hat, which also features animals wearing clothing. So, see you then. Ta-ta for now.